Hey guys, Dog's back and we're here to bring you the review for Bioshock 2. Now, before we start, I'd like to take us back to Bioshock 1. Just, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, I just want to go through the ending. And what was the deal with, well, like everyone knows, there were two endings. If you saved all the little sisters in that, then you would have had that all happy ending where you ended up adopting all of them. And it just so happened that in the very last scene, they all decide to get married in the one day while you're all holding hands and you're on your deathbed. Yay! That's the ending that I chose. Now, the opposite ending, where if you're like my cousin, you decide to go all mean and be like, hey, I want to harvest these little girls for their virginity with my giant plasma hand and I want to suck out all that admin like a whore. And then at the end you turn like all beast and that you maul the guy to death and everything turns into a giant war scene. Rah! Yeah. Well, other than that, Bioshock 2 takes place 10 years after the first one. And like everyone has realized already, you pretty much start playing as a Big Daddy. Now, all the different weapons that you can have. Like, everyone knows the drill. The rivet gun. The rivet gun is pretty much a single shot. Like, if you guys have played Fallout, it would remind you a lot of the railway rifle, or at least it did for me. Just because it just felt like it, considering that it just keeps firing out just single shots. But also, the machine gun is now a Gatling gun instead of just that Tommy or whatever. The shotgun is now a double barrel. They now have a spear gun and a launcher. And pretty much what the launcher is, it's just it's a different version. They had a grenade launcher in the first one, and now they have the launcher, which can fire, I guess it can fire grenades, heat-seeking RPGs. I'm going off memory right now, what can be fired. But, also the research camera has been, brought back, which I thought that was pretty cool. I liked messing with that in the first one. Let's see. What another thing that I liked about this game was that they did, you can upgrade all your ammo in that. There wasn't just, one set of ammo. For the rivet gun, the more upgrades you have, there's one upgrade where every single time you fire it, there's a chance that the guy could be set on fire. They now have a hack dart gun or whatever, which you can hack systems or turrets from a distance, and also that thing can be used to deploy turrets in that, which I thought that was really cool. One thing I did not like about this game, unless you played the first one, if you were like me when you played the first one, you thought okay, this is a really creepy game or whatever, and right now I'm scared shitless. But when you play with Bioshock 2, what you'll realize is that you're pretty much just going back to Rapture. There's nothing like that. There's a few new scenes in that. You explore a lot of different places, but it's just got that familiar. It's just got that thing where you already know what to expect. But the one thing that did scare the shit out of me was the Big Sisters. Now, pretty much what the Big Sister actually is, if you saw that trailer in that, with that big ass skinny piece of shit that just, you see her, she's screaming her head off, she's up on the glass, breaking through it, pounding on it, and she gets down, she starts floating everything, and she's God, and just, well, pretty much, I sound like a crazy person. Here's what she is. She is pretty much just a little sister, grown up. Except she's just gotten so unstable with everything that's happened with Rapture, and now she's just all souped up and on her period and whatnot. Which also proves that guns don't kill people, women on their period do. What else? Oh, now this is a spoiler, real quick. So if you guys don't want to hear this, just pause it, do the fast forward or whatever till you see on the screen it says no longer spoiler. But now later in this game, when you reach to it, there will be like you'll see like a kind of like shrine or whatever. Then you'll see this little sister. She'll be crawling up in the hole or whatever. Now, that little sister's name is Eleanor Lamb. And just to like give you guys a little bit of insight, because I didn't exactly understand this at first, but she was the first ever little sister to be bonded with a Big Daddy. Now, that may not sound like all that cool, all that like insightful, like, oh my god, what the hell is that doing anything? She was the first one to have that father-daughter relationship with a Big Daddy. And I think that's what this game, in a lot of ways, is really going for. Because now that you're a Big Daddy, there's like that relationship key now. Because, like in the first one, you could choose either harvest or adopt. Well, whenever you adopt one, what you'll do is you'll just take her, so you'll sit on your shoulders, and then you'll walk around, and whenever you like see a dead body or something, you lay her down, she'll harvest it, and then you have to protect her. And the more you do it, then the more like she'll be like happy and nice towards you. Also, like a little quick hint, whenever you guys like saw that cinematic trailer for Bioshock 2, you know that little girl who was running around like all scared and that's Eleanor Lamb. Also, a little bit background for the character you are that I actually found out. Now, you're Subject Delta. Just there's another spoiler. So you are Subject Delta. You are the very first Big Daddy. You were technically the test subject or whatever, and without you, no, this game probably wouldn't even be around. Like, I'm not going to give too much on this. Like, the story itself, beautiful. I loved it. I thought it was really unique in that. And just on that, I think you should get the game. Okay, now let's move on to the multiplayer. Now, the multiplayer really made me think that this should have been placed in the first one, to be honest. It just had that feeling because it took weapons from the first. It took most of the weapons from the first one, and I think the rivet gun and like there might have been one other, and put it in multiplayer. And just like whenever you get to the point where you're the Big Daddy, like that's just it just felt like it should have been placed in the first one, just for that reason. Now you guys might be thinking, oh my god, this guy's full of shit. Like he doesn't know what he's talking about. No, like it was cool and all. Like I really liked the multiplayer. I thought it was a really cool element to the game. But again, it just felt like that it should have been put back in the first one. You guys might be hating on me for saying this, but I don't really care. Well, I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions or anything, or if you guys... I'm stupid. Okay. Guys, pretty much, out of everything, I'd have to give this game an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10 for this game. But mostly the game itself, I liked it. I think they improved a lot from the first one, but there's still a little bit room for improvement. Like I think if they would have added just like a few little details, like I can't even explain what they could have added, but I don't know, just little things, I guess, to make it like a little bit less familiar than it could have been. Okay, I think that's about it. I guess the next one will be about AVP. So if you guys don't like agree with what I gave this, you guys feel free to leave a comment below, and I might actually change it.